Hi, this is Willow 140, and I'm going to demonstrate how to brew the Wideye or Awakening potion in Pottermore and offer some helpful tips along the way. Of all the potions you can brew, Wideye gives you the most bang for your galleon. You win 9 house points for what comes out to a bit less than a sickle in ingredients costs. You can earn points faster by brewing sleeping drafts, but you'll end up spending over 3 times as much money for the same number of points. And since you only have a finite amount of money to spend in Pottermore, you want to be conscious of saving it. Also, not only is Wideye the cheapest potion to brew, the second half of the instructions are very simple, so you're unlikely to mess it up after you've already waited the long brewing time. Okay, so hopefully I've sold you on this potion. Here's how you do it. First, you're going to need at least one of each of these 3 ingredients listed here: dried billywig stings, snake fangs, and wolfsbane. Now the snake fangs you're going to have to buy in the apothecary on Diagon Alley. The other 2 you can find there as well, but you can actually pick them up for free in the chapters of Philosopher's Stone, so you want to save your money and pick those up for free. Here's where you find them. First, I'm going to go to Chapter 8, Moment 3, which is Hagrid's Wooden House, and this bottle here in the window is the dried billywig stings. Now, the way this works is that all of these potion ingredients that you find in the chapters of Pottermore, once you run out of them, you can always find them again in the same place that you found them in the first place. So basically, you get a limitless supply of them. They'll always respawn if you run out. So I'll collect that. And then this potion is particularly convenient because the other ingredient we need is right here. It's Wolfsbane right next to the barrel. Okay. Now Wolfsbane is interesting. You can actually find it in 2 places in the chapters of Pottermore, so just in case you're curious. It's also here in the Forbidden Forest. If I zoom in 1 level, then it's right there. So you can pick up a couple if you want. Now, there are different kinds of cauldrons that you can buy in Pottermore, but I haven't heard of any real advantages offered by the other types, so I just stick with the basic pewter for now. Here we go, Wideye or Awakening. It's going to take one of each of these 3 ingredients out of my ingredient stores. Alright, so here are the brewing instructions. If it's your first time brewing the potion, you want to check and see what all of these ingredients are going to look like on your table, because you might notice that the Wolfsbane, when I collected it, it looked like flowers, but now it looks like sticks. It's going to look like sticks on my table. The standard ingredient is standard. You don't have to buy it or find it anywhere. It just shows up on your table when it's called for. Okay, here's what we have to do. Add 6 snake fangs to the mortar, then 4 measures of the standard ingredient to the mortar. 6 dried billywig stings to the cauldron, heat on medium temperature 30 seconds, crush the ingredients, add 4 measures of them to the cauldron, 3 times clockwise, then wave the wand. So it's a lot of steps, but we can do it in the time that's given to us. This here, we can see the top of the hourglass that keeps track of time as we brew. All potions in Pottermore are timed. The ingredients are only magically active for a certain amount of time or something like that. Now, it won't start counting down until we close this book for the first time. After that, we are allowed to reopen the book by just clicking it on the table, but the timer will continue to count down while we're doing that. So you don't want to have to reopen it too many times, or else you'll be wasting time. Okay, so I think we're ready to start. We start by adding 6 snake fangs to the mortar. Now you'll notice that the counter goes up by 3 each time. So even though I need to add 6, I only need to do that twice. Now 4 measures of the standard ingredient to the mortar. Notice how I'm dropping them right above the mortar. They take some time to fall, so if I drop them from up here, it's going to waste time. Dried billywig stings, grab the top of the bottle so you have good control. Catch the bottom of it on the outside edge of the cauldron and then tip it over. Now watch the counter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then pull back. There we have 6 measures in the cauldron. Now I always start heating on high to get it up to the temperature range quickly, and then switch to low so that it stays within these 2 bars as long as possible, but I'm going to have to end up switching back and forth between low and off in order to keep the temperature in that temperature range. You want to be very careful on this step. If you ever overheat the cauldron, get it above that bar, or let it fall below the lower bar while the timer is still counting, then the thermometer is going to turn red again. If that happens, do not wave your wand. If you wave your wand, you'll end up melting your cauldron, you'll have to buy a new one, and you'll lose 5 house points. You want to, instead of waving your wand, you will want to either let the hourglass time out or Click anywhere else in Pottermore, close the window, anything so that you don't end up clicking the wand. Okay, after we're done heating, just make sure that the temperature is off so we don't accidentally overheat after the fact. And then we start clicking on this pestle in order to crush the ingredients until the bar turns green. Now add 4 measures of this into the cauldron. 3, 4. Always make sure that the counter goes up before you move on to the next step. So now we can do our 3 stirs clockwise. I make my circles a little bigger than the outer rim of the cauldron, seems to work for me. That was 3, and now we just click the wand in order to wave it, let it do its magic. Cross our fingers. And it looks like we're good. At this point we'd be seeing green smoke if we'd done something wrong. So it says check this potion in 95 minutes to see if it has worked. What it really means is come back in 95 minutes to finish it. The 95-minute brewing time is also the length of time that you have as a grace period, so you can't finish the potion until you've waited at least 95 minutes. But if you wait 190 minutes, twice that long, then when you come back you'll have failed the potion, it will have timed out, and you don't get any points. Some people have experienced a glitch where if they click come back later, then the potion basically forgets that they've started it and they have to start all over. And so what I always do is if I can, I try to leave this window open, but I also always check with a new tab and look in the cauldrons section to see and make sure that it's counting, that the brewing time is working, and it knows it's brewing. Okay, so I guess we'll come back in 95 minutes. Alright, so I've waited 95 minutes now, and you can see it's already started to count down my grace period. If I had to close this window, then I could get back there with this page. It says here that the full brewing time has concluded and that this potion requires your attention. So I could click here and then get back to this place. But since I still have it open, I can just click next. Okay, and here are the second half of the brewing instructions. And as promised, they are very simple. Okay, so just add 2 sprigs of Wolfsbane to the cauldron, stir 3 times anti-clockwise, wave the wand, and then we're done. Okay. So here we go, 2 sprigs of Wolfsbane, 1, 2. Again, make sure that the counter goes up before we go on to the next step. And then 3 stirs anti-clockwise, 3. And then with that, we're ready to click the wand. Cross your fingers. Looks like it's okay. Alright, so we successfully brewed the Wideye Awakening Potion and got 9 house points. Now some people, I think, have had a glitch where if they click brew another potion then they don't seem to get the house points. So again, I open up a new tab to check and make sure. Here I have 1,505 and here I have 1,514 points, so it's gone up. Alright, so it worked. That's how you do it. Happy brewing.